Welcome once again to Commanded by Danon. I'm excited to announce that this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. For the past few years, Ultimate Guard has been hard at work finding ways to protect your cards without damaging the planet, and they've discovered it. Boulders, once made entirely of plastic, are now made of 87% renewable resources. They also come in a variety of sizes, including this new Return to Earth 100 card boulder. If you're like me, you have a ton of decks and don't want those boxes filling up an entire suitcase, this box is the perfect solution. Find out if your local game store carries the new Return to Earth boulders from Ultimate Guard. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Sean. Huge thanks to Sean and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Sean reached out asking for a Legends Matter deck built around the new 5-color legendary Sliver Gravemother. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Sliver Gravemother is a 5-mana 6/6 legendary Sliver. She makes it so that the legend rule doesn't apply to Slivers we control. Additionally, each Sliver card in our graveyard has Encore X, where X is that card's mana value. Finally, she herself has Encore 5. Encore is a newer mechanic focused on multiplayer. Basically, as part of the casting cost, we exile a creature from our graveyard, then put token copies on the board equal to the number of opponents we have. Each of those copies must attack a different opponent, if possible. Then, at our end step, we sacrifice the tokens. Now, Sean requested something janky. Specifically, he wanted a Legends Matter deck with cards that changed all of his creatures into slivers. That's right, this is a no slivers sliver deck. But before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Marsh Flats, Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, Misty Rainforest, Hallowed Fountain, Watery Grave, Blood Crypt, Stomping Ground, Temple Garden, Godless Shrine, Steam Vents, Overgrown Tomb, Sacred Foundry, Breeding Pool, Indatha Triome, Rogram Triome, Zagoth Triome, Savai Triome, Ketria Triome, 2 plains, 2 islands, 2 swamps, 2 mountains, and 3 forests. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Timeless Lotus, Gilded Lotus, Ganex Astral Hunter, Ramirez de Pietro Pillager, Soul of Windgrace, 3 Visits, Nature's Lore, Skyshroud Claim, Cultivate, and Kodama's Reach serve as our ramp package. But Danon, Ramirez de Pietro Pillager only makes 2 treasures, and Ganex Astral Hunter only makes 1 treasure. How can they be considered mana ramp? Well, gentle listener, when you encore Ramirez, you make 6 treasures. And when you encore Ganex, you make 9. Be'lakor the Darkmaster, Borborgamos and Fibblethip, Fibblethip the Lost, Inga Runais, Windfall, Monastery Siege, Search for Azcanta, Buried Alive, Burning Room Demon, Enlightened Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, and Zancha Sleeper Agent. Remember, according to the rules of Encore, if you don't own a permanent that you are supposed to sacrifice at the end step, it stays on the battlefield. We're also running Emry, Lurker of the Loch, Underrealm Lich, Gisa and Geralf, Gyruda, Doom of Depths, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, and Ashiok Dream Render as self-mill effects, which are basically card advantage in our deck. Jarina, Dauntless General, Lauren of the Third Path, Malfagor, Nicol the Ravager, Venser, Shaper Savant, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Assassin's Trophy, Negate, Abrade, Hull Breach, and Kogla Titanate make up our interaction and spot removal package. Cyclonic Rift, Dam, and Farewell should help to reset the board as needed. Obeka, Brute Chronologist, allows us to keep our creatures on board instead of just sacrificing them. Mondra, Glory Dominus, works to help us double all our tokens, which means when we encore a legend, 2 copies of that creature attack each opponent. Or if we encore Mondra and then encore someone else, 8 copies of those tokens then attack our opponents. Gonti, Lord of Luxury, for some theft shenanigans. Arnie, Metalbrow, allows us to cheat creatures into play. Ayula, Queen Among Bears, deals an obscene amount of damage for how low her encore cost is. Dragon Lord Atarka deals a ton of damage and helps to clear a path as needed. Girid, Conclave Exile, lets us keep any token we want. God Eternal Ronus serves as a sudden I win card. Lord Xander the Collector is ruthless in this deck. Malcator, Purity Overseer, makes a ton of tokens that we can use to attack or defend as needed. Morag, Fury of Akum, means we get 3 extra combats the turn he comes out. 6 if we play a fetch land after he gets encored. Roalesk, Apex Hybrid, grows anyone on our board not being sacrificed. Tivit, Seller of Secrets, either ramps us hard or lets us draw a ton of cards. Now, the key cards in this deck that support our plan are Maskwood Nexus, Arcane Adaptation, and Conspiracy. All 3 serve the same purpose in this deck, and one of them will probably be the card we tutor for. Finally, Jodah the Unifier enhances the power of almost all the creatures in our deck, helping us close out games faster. Now, encoring doesn't trigger Jodah's legendary Cascade ability, since we're not casting from our hand. But since all of our creatures will be that much larger, it's fine. We're just here to be janky, swing out, and smash face. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 12 pieces of card advantage, plus 6 more to help fill our graveyard. 12 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Ashiok Dream Render and Farewell. 1 sudden I win card in God Eternal Ronus. God Eternal Ronus, assuming we encore him, multiplies all our creatures' power by 8. He even goes from an impressive 5/5 to a 20/20. At that point, you don't even need the Death Touch. I'm very excited for how this deck turned out. I've been wanting to build something janky for a while. Huge thanks to Sean for helping me do that. Do you have a janky commander deck that's outside the norm? Tell me about it. I'm not able to respond to every comment, but I do read them all. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Richard, Pop Zombie, Mark, Danny, Alex, John, Ignis, Daniel, Steve, and Kevin. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.